This is Imprisoned for Life by Elizabeth Towne. Originally published in 1906, a powerful text from over a century ago, now brought to life in this video. I don't believe any soul is imprisoned for life in the gloom of remorse and despair. And honestly, I think the particular criminal you mentioned would laugh at that idea. She probably finds just as many excuses for herself as you or I could. And in her mind, she was justified in killing that man. You see, the human heart is a complex labyrinth of emotions and justifications. We all carry within us the capacity for both great love and terrible deeds. But it's our understanding, or lack thereof, that often determines the path we choose. And then there's Josephine Terranova. She thinks, or maybe just thinks, that God told her to kill her aunt and uncle. Whether she ends up in prison or in a madhouse, it might take another life or two before she feels real remorse. And by the time she does, she'll probably have grown enough sense to forgive herself for doing what she knew no better than to do. Imagine, for a moment, the weight of such a belief. To think that the divine has commanded you to commit an act of violence, it's a testament to the power of our minds and to the depths of human confusion when we're disconnected from our true nature. She eventually forgave herself, just as you and I forgive her, knowing the great ignorance and the terrible conditions that provoked her act. For in the grand tapestry of existence, we're all threads woven together by the same hand of creation. No one stays locked in a prison of remorse any longer than necessary, because that prison is meant to make us change, to make us mend our thinking. It's a crucible of transformation, where the dross of our misunderstandings is burned away, revealing the gold of our true selves. Sometimes sorrow does it, sometimes pain, sometimes love. Even simple training can do it. The path to awakening is as varied as the souls who walk it. What matters is not how we arrive, but that we do. Whatever unfolds the truth inside us, the love principle at the core of our being, that's what frees us. From guilt, from hate, from the darkness. It's the eternal flame that burns within, waiting to be recognized, to illuminate our way back to wholeness. It was love that woke Josephine, that showed her the evil of her life. It was the loss of love that roused her to vengeance. But if the alienists, the doctors, if they prick and pinch and scorch her mind, they might just destroy what little sense she has left. The human psyche is delicate, and true healing comes not from force, but from gentle awakening. It is not God who must forgive. It's us, humanity, because God is spirit, God is love, and God is of purer eyes than to behold iniquity. So how can God forgive what he doesn't even see? This is the great mystery and the great liberation, that the divine sees only our perfection, even when we cannot. Iniquity is a human concept, born from our ignorance of God, of the love at the center of who we are. It's a shadow cast by our limited understanding, a veil that obscures the radiant truth of our being. The love principle inside us never changes. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. But our understanding of that principle, that's what grows. Like a seed breaking through the soil, reaching for the sun, our consciousness expands, ever seeking the light of truth. The less we understand, the worse our actions, and the more we suffer when we realize our ignorance. It's a cosmic boomerang, returning to us the consequences of our choices, teaching us through experience what our hearts already know. As we grow in wisdom, we see how foolish hate is, how destructive revenge can be. We learn that only love-prompted actions return peace. This is the alchemy of the soul, transforming the base metal of our lower nature into the gold of divine understanding. Even after we realize this, we still mess up. We still do wrong, just not as violently, because we're still learning, still unfolding. The path to perfection is long, but every step brings us closer to the truth of who we are. Growth in wisdom saves us from iniquity, from remorse, from unforgiveness. The key that unlocks the prison of our own making, setting us free to love without condition, to live without fear. Jesus said to Peter, "I give unto you the keys of the kingdom of the heavens. Whatever you bind on earth is bound in heaven. Whatever you lose on earth is lost in heaven." These words echo through the ages, reminding us of the power we hold to shape our reality through our perceptions and choices. When we finally learn to forgive others and ourselves, we realize something powerful. Judgment Day is already behind us. The great reckoning is not some future event, but a continuous process of awakening to the truth of our divine nature. And those goats and sheep, all good grazers now, in the pastures of eternity. The divisions we create in our ignorance dissolve in the light of understanding, revealing the unity that has always existed beneath the surface of our perceived separateness. Why should the goats be damned anyway? Growing intelligence asks why, and starts to see it was us, in our childish ignorance, who labeled the goats evil. The categories we create, good and evil, right and wrong, are but training wheels for the soul, temporary aids on our journey to wisdom. But as we grow, we can't blame them. We can't blame anyone for not being wise from the start, because really, there was no one to blame, except in our own minds. The recognition of this truth is the beginning of true compassion for ourselves and for all beings. And when we stop condemning people, we don't erase what they've done, stop feeding the cycle of hatred, but we don't ignore the damage. Forgiveness doesn't mean release from consequence. It means clarity. It's seeing with the eyes of love, understanding the root causes of harmful actions without condoning them. Yes, we can forgive, but people must still answer for their actions. This is the balance we must strike between the unconditional love of the divine and the necessary order of human society. It's a dance between mercy and justice, compassion and accountability. Some acts are too violent, too destructive to simply reform away. Some people are dangerous and must be kept away. That's the truth. There are still life sentences, and sometimes there should be. For the protection of society, for the maintenance of order, some boundaries must be upheld. Justice matters. Accountability matters. These are not contradictions to forgiveness, but complementary aspects of a compassionate society. They are the guardrails that keep us on the path of growth and mutual respect. We acknowledge those who have harmed. We forgive them if we can. But we do not forget. Do not pretend all is healed. To do so would be to deny the reality of human experience, to bypass the necessary process of healing and restoration. Forgiveness is for the soul. Justice is for the world. In this delicate balance lies the path forward for humanity, a way to honor both our divine nature and our earthly responsibilities. God, we are all growing in wisdom and knowledge, all learning to forgive each other and ourselves. It's a journey without end, a continuous unfolding of greater understanding and deeper love. Each challenge we face is an opportunity for growth, each mistake a stepping stone to wisdom. And when we've forgiven 70 times 7 and loved our enemies, we realize one simple, powerful truth. There was never anything to forgive. For in the light of perfect understanding, we see that all actions, all choices, are but expressions of the soul seeking to know itself, to remember its true nature. In this realization lies the ultimate freedom, the recognition that we are, and have always been, expressions of divine love. And in that love we find our way home,